Good morning, everyone, and thank you all for your patience while dealing with our technical difficulties. I've already given this introduction once before, and it was the greatest introduction in the world, but I couldn't remember the greatest introduction in the world, so this is just a tribute. I wanted to start off with some quick announcements. The first announcement is this is Runners Wanted, if you hadn't noticed over the past 50 minutes. I am ZoeVermilion, and I am your host today. But for the actual announcements, Frame Fatales, our all-women speedrunning event, returns with another event tomorrow, Fleet Fatales, online November 15th through the 21st. Go to gamesdonequick.com/framefatales for more info. West Coast weekend is December 4th to December 6th. The schedule will be released on November 20th. AGDQ 2021 online is January 3rd to January 10th of next year. Prize submissions are open, so if you are preparing any prizes for AGDQ 2021, submissions will be open until December 26th. And if you want to learn about all of our shows, you can do so at gamesdonequick.com/hotfix. If you missed any shows or want to revisit past events, go to youtube.com/gamesdonequick to check out our VODs. So without any further ado, I am joined today by Arborelia, who will be running Napple, a very adorable and cute Dreamcast game that you've probably never heard of. How are you doing, Arborelia?
Hi, Zoe. I'm doing great. I am really excited to get to show people this game and the speed run of it. So yeah, thank you so much for having me on here. And yeah, how soon should I get started? We've got like a few minutes of narration at the start of the game anyway.
Yeah, if you just want to give us a countdown, our lovely Railgun behind the scenes will start the timer. So
okay, yeah. So let's go over to new game, and the countdown just starts the moment I hit new. Well, the time starts the moment I hit new game. So let's count down: 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Okay, so this is Napple, and this is in fact the English translation of Napple, which is a fan translation. This was made by somebody named Cargodin and came out last year, and that was super exciting because I had heard about this game, but before last year I knew that it was completely impenetrable to me. Like, I could read a little bit of Japanese, but I saw the beginning of this game and just like minutes and minutes of text, and I was just not going to get into it. But the fan translation is great, and it's doing so much to make this game accessible to English speakers. And so I feel a little bad talking over Maya Sakamoto here, but she's going to be talking for a bit because, you know, we just get this narration at the beginning, introducing us to the main character of Napple. There was a lot of like inconsistency about how to localize her name for decades, and in the fan translation she is Porch. I like that name. It's weird, it's cute.
Porch is a fantastic name.
And now the tragic thing is I'm going to be skipping the opening song because this is any percent, and there would be an amazing song with like a slightly animated video there. It's called Tail Song, Tail song from Napple, if you want to like look it up. But like the tragic things is that like the cutscenes that are skippable are the ones with the songs. But there's going to be plenty more opportunities for excellent music in this game, and that's, if you've heard about this game, that's the reason you've heard about this game, is the music, because it's got a soundtrack by Yoko Kanno with vocals by Maya Sakamoto. They are just the J-pop dream team, and they brought their A-game to this game. Anyway, here's Porch. Here is her amazing outfit. I am told that it has been successfully cosplayed at least once. And that's Stray Nap. So this little blue thing is kind of introducing himself as the Grim Reaper, but being a little flustered about it because he is new on the job, and he's supposed to be taking Porch to the afterlife, which Porch is very bummed to find out about because she didn't know that she was supposed to be dead. In fact, she isn't supposed to be dead. But those are the 6 petals of her soul flying off in all different directions. And so this is real, this is serious. And yeah, so now we've got to go to Napple World. And Porch is like, what's that? And Strainap is the name of the blue thing, and he's just like, well, you'll find out when we get there. So here's Napple World. This is Napple Town, and this is basically the cutest purgatory. And so we're going to kind of check in here. I'm just going to try to summarize all the dialogue as I skip through it as fast as possible. You get kind of insta-mashing. Yeah, it's fine. The intro's cute. But yeah, it is like 11 or so minutes before you get to gameplay, I think. I forget. Okay, so here's Minister Druid and Mayor Frogcar. I love the characters in this game. They're so weird. And they are telling Strainap that he has completely hacked this up, that he's got the wrong person. He was supposed to claim the soul of a cat named Porch. And Porch is like, my name is Porch, get it right. And Strainap's checking his notes, and yeah, that's the confusion. So yeah, a little bit about this run. I am one of the 2 runners of this game so far, and I'm very excited if other people want to try the game. And I came up with most of the route from, when there wasn't a speedrun route for this game at all. And we try to make the rules of the run very accessible. Like, you're definitely allowed to use emulator, which for one thing makes it a lot easier to use the English fan translation, like amazingly easier. You're allowed to use turbo controls for mashing. I know that you only, like, I've had a brush with repetitive strain injury. I know that you only get so many button presses in your life. And so some of this time I'm hitting turbo to mash through dialogue. And, there is a lot of dialogue to mash through. And yeah, it's been a lot of fun just coming up with the run and coming up with, how to get through this game as quickly as possible. It's a very chill, nice speedrun with occasional difficult parts and with a lot of cute parts. Okay, here's Pierrot the Clown. He's a jerk, and he's going to, I'm going to slow down mashing because he wants us to do a tutorial, and we really don't want to do a tutorial. I think I'll pass. Okay, cool. We don't have to do the tutorial because I successfully stopped mashing for a moment. And now we get all the items we would get in the tutorial anyway, including this. This is a Paffet. Paffets are adorable. Some Paffets are things that can follow you around and help you in levels. This one is named Cheerwall. So the mechanics of this game, it's described as a platforming RPG. The gameplay is pretty much platforming, but it's got like a lot of RPG elements to the story and to the world. And it's also got this bit of a crafting mechanic to it where you create paffets that will join you in the levels. And part of the speedrun route is finding out which paffets we want to make and how to get the ingredients for them. And that's really what the early levels are going to be concerned with. And so this is all still just cutscene. I'm kind of idly hitting buttons, but it doesn't matter. Porch's walk cycle is kind of amazing. And so, because all this is Strainap's fault, he's going to give Porch a place to live while she's in Napple Town, which is inside 13 Ice, which is his ice cream shop. Wow, I'm hearing an echo of... Wait, do I have the stream open?
I think you might.
Oh no. Where do I have the stream open, though? Is it Discord? Oh, hopefully it's not coming through on stream, right? It's on a very long delay, so it's not messing me up too much, but I have absolutely no idea where to find that's coming from. Anyway, so get shown to our room, and Porch is like, why do you have this amazingly cute room here? And Strainap's like, oh, that's a secret. And we go to sleep. That's good. Yeah, how do I... I'll try muting myself. Does that work? Do you still hear me?
I think it might be being drowned out by the game audio. I can personally hear it, but it's not a huge deal for me. So So I wouldn't worry too much about it as long as it's not messing you
Yeah,
up.
I muted myself, but that was mute as in mute my mic, so that's not the right answer. So yeah. Anyway, yeah, I'll just try to deal with that. Again, it's not like I'm hearing myself on a 2-second delay and making, you know, conversation impossible. Yeah. So Stray Nap's showing us around Napple Town. These are the 4 streets corresponding to the 4 seasons. There's kind of a thing going on where seasons are different places and time is all weird. But Melee from the item shop is showing up, and he's going to introduce us to the idea of crafting items. He's given us some recipes for pathits, or a recipe for pathits. Okay. And anyway, Stray Nap's like, hey, didn't you have a pathit? You should go get it. And I am absolutely not going to go get it. That would take time. There's a better chance to go get it later. So I finally have control, and the first thing we're going to do is visit a girl named Alice, because she's got a plot that we want to resolve really early. All right, so here's Alice. You notice that the full title of the game sounds kind of like Alice in Wonderland, and the game is not an Alice in Wonderland game, except it does have Alice in it as a character. And so we're going to be doing a little bit with her plot here. And so I almost get to go to a level now. I just have to have a couple more conversations. So this is the gate that leads to the platforming levels of Spring. And Stray Nap's just got to tell us a little bit about, like, hey, did you know that levels exist? And like, yes, I do know that levels exist. And make a second attempt to go into the level, get interrupted by a small child. So because Spring is broken, like, school is closed, and she really wants school to open again. I guess she has to have classes over Zoom or something. Yeah, so... Anyway, just mash through a little more dialogue. And finally we get to do the first level of the game, which is called New Year's Day. And there's a little bit of an aspect where you get to do levels in like a bit of an arbitrary order, but there are dependencies between them, and we're mostly going to be following the order of the levels, with one big exception, which is we're going to be finishing up Alice's subplot way before the game expects us to. This is the thing that feels most like a sequence break that I've found so far, because you're supposed to have to find Alice again in this level, and it's going to be blocked off by stuff, and you have to go on a different side quest. But if we solve her plot before any of that happens, then we just get to skip all that. But yeah, welcome to the actual game. And now this is the part where I have to make sure to collect all the items that I need. That recipe is a slight time saver. I need the items that these things have, like that sundial. Wait, my notes are wrong about this one. Okay, oh no, I got it, okay. Yeah, because it's very important what items I get, because that's where you need to get pretty much exactly the set of items that I'm going to be making my pathits out of. And pathits, once again, are the helpers. We've been introduced to one of them, although I, did not go and actually get it, because there wasn't time for that. I also need 3 of these things called life. They are the things that you use to breathe life into a pathit, and I need to remember to get 3 of them. Yeah, I hear that the, not the gameplay, but the whole vibe of the game is very similar to Nights into Dreams, which I haven't played, and I really should. But yeah, so now we're in Alice's house again. It's a different version of Alice's house. Every place in Napple Town has a corresponding place in the levels, and so here's Alice, but she's young Alice now, and we're getting to talk to her a little bit. Like, Stray Nap's like, oh, I'm here to help, and Alice is just like, ew, a troll, get away. So that doesn't go that well. And so, but now that we've met young Alice, we can go talk to old Alice again, older Alice, and find out what the deal is. Oh, yeah, I'm not hearing the echo anymore. Thank you.
Yeah, same.
Oh, ow. Notice that this game has a double jump. It's a very frustrating double jump at times, because it only works when you're going upward. If you're on the descending part of your jump, you can't double jump anymore. And basically everything that requires jumping, like to get it consistently, requires double jumping. And I gotta make sure to get these chests on the way down. And I believe that got me a life and a Napple seed, both things that I need. Once again, life is what we need to breathe life into Paffets, and Napple seeds, so they're kind of heart pieces. If I get 4 of them, I get an extra heart on my health bar, and I want to do that once. It just makes the run so much safer, and allows me to really get in bosses' faces in a way that I would not want to do if I only had the 5 hearts. Speaking of bosses, here's one. So, Porch is, going to remark that it's suddenly a little creepy and it smells here. What's going on? And Stran's like, yeah, that pungent odor is a boss. You gotta fight it. And so, yeah, we're trying to bring spring back, and this snake doesn't really want to wake up from hibernation. Do snakes hibernate? I don't know. But
I'm not sure.
This is a very easy. Oops. Okay. Despite that I did that attack, this is a very easy boss because you just get behind it.
They do not hibernate. They go into a state called brumation.
Brumation? Now I know.
I'm probably mispronouncing that, but...
Neat. Anyway, that was the first boss. Alright, so now we've brought back a little piece of spring by completing that level, and we see the cherry petals falling, but they're not falling for very long. This is because we haven't fully restored spring. There are more levels to it. But that's kind of going to be the theme of these levels, is the seasons, and so we're pretty much going to go through them mostly in order. Anyway, we've got more required dialogue here. Yeah, Minister Druid here is going to tell us a little more about crafting Paffets, and he needs us to go make one. Alright, and now with this place, with the super wonky music, we're going to get introduced to the crafting mechanic, where you take these objects that you collect off of enemies in the levels, and you disassemble them into their component ingredients. The game calls these MIS, M-I-S. I often kind of snarkily refer to them as emoji. And once you take apart an object into its emoji, you can then create a Paffet out of 4 of those. And so the disassembling an object mechanic is kind of a little 3D puzzle, and then you just need to know the recipe for making a Paffet. And of course, I already know the recipes for the Paffets I'm going to be making, but when I collected that one recipe piece, it's going to like pre-fill in a couple of the things, which saves a tiny bit of time. Yeah, this music is very silly.
I want to step in real quick just to answer a quick question in chat. Elia is doing most of the commentary on her own run. I am here as moral support and to make cheeky comments. So.
Yeah, okay, so that is that. And so now I gotta remember to actually go to the basement and collect my friend Cheerwall. So this is the Paffet rooms. This is where the Paffets hang out when they're not following Porch around. So we're being introduced to this whole concept. And you can have 5 Paffets at a time with you, but we're only gonna ever have 3, because that's all I'm ever gonna make. But here's Cheerwall. Cheerwall continues to be adorable. Okay, and so now we go and visit Alice again, and we get to talk to her for a while longer. So hi, Alice. And so, Alice's problem is that she's sleepy. She is just so afraid. She's been afraid since childhood. Like, why can't she sleep? And so we're going to try to talk to her about this by having a tea party with her. And we're asking, hey, what would have comforted you when you were younger? And she's like, oh, actually, that paffet you've got, that would have been an amazing thing to have. And so we can actually deliver on this because we can go visit young Alice and bring her a paffet. And that's what we're gonna do. I almost messed up the route, because I need to visit the school.
Operating word there being almost.
I'm so glad I only almost messed it up instead of actually messing it up. So here's the school. Here's Headmaster Cole, and he's going to try to start the school year with the music of spring. And the music is all hecked up, and it's kind of like making the kids possessed, so that's a problem.
I'm always very curious why there are two sets of triplets here.
Yeah, they only have exactly two models of children for all the kids in the game.
My favorite one's the red one.
Uh-huh.
But I'm biased.
Uh-huh. All right, so anyway, apparently this player piano is a messed up piece of garbage, and we need to do something about it. And Porch and Serena are going to have a little conversation over here. Porch is like, wait, why do I have to do this? And Serena's just like, look, just fix people's problems. Go along with it, okay? And also, I can collect a Napple seed here. Okay, so I've done that, and now I can go back into the level. We go back into New Year's Day, because again, this level's going to get blocked off if we don't finish doing everything in it right now. It's very important to do your stretches before speedrunning through a platformer. These coins have absolutely no purpose, incidentally.
I was about to ask.
There is like that thing that we made it as the demo of crafting. That was a vending machine. It's pretty much a gacha machine. You put coins in and you get like fun things about the game out. Wait, do I need this chest? My notes are confusing. Yes. Okay. Cool. I'm glad I got that chest. And yeah, the coins completely do not matter to the speedrun.
So if you get 8 red coins, you don't get a star?
Nope. In fact, I think the red coins are just worth like 2 coins. Yeah, yeah, like not strictly all women on the dev team, but like it's designed by a team of largely women. That's a really cool fact about this game. And I think that's one of the things that motivated Yoko Kanno to like put so much into this game soundtrack. She's done other games, but it's not amazing to the extent of this game. Like this soundtrack, I've just listened to the soundtrack even knowing nothing about the game for decades. Anyway, so I distracted myself. Anyway, young Alice is happy, and now we've got to clean up some items. Put away the blocks, put away the slippers, and put away the crayons. And these decisions affect what's in the next level. And now it's time to get a blanket and go to sleep. And I gotta choose the right blanket. With the timely rabbit blanket. And you had to like pay attention to Alice's dialogue in the tea party to get that. Anyway, what has 2 long horns and lurks in the dawnless forest? What has eyes of bloodshot red and lurks in the dawnless forest? Well, I guess we'll find out. So we enter this this level called Wonderbed. We are now inside Alice's dream. Yeah, so I first learned about I first heard of Napple when I think I was on like LimeWire or something. It was like early 2000s, and I was looking for stuff by Yoko Kanno and found a track labeled Folly Fall Yoko Kanno, and it was amazing. And I looked up more information about the track and found out it was from a video game called Napple, and then I could find out basically nothing about the game. And like eventually there was YouTube and I could see like people playing little bits of the game, but it was a whole lot of Japanese and I didn't even have a Dreamcast, so it was still pretty inaccessible. But when the fan translation came out, I got to try it and I actually love this game.
Spiky chest looks very rude.
Yeah, there are rude mimic chests. Oh, this is the worst cycle. As far as I know, the levels happen on global cycles, which definitely has tricky implications for routing. And I am very interested in like other people trying things out and possibly finding better patterns, better routes. Because again, there are only two of us really who have ever speedrun this game. That's me and Random Salience, and I really appreciate everything that she has found. We're going to be seeing a couple of her tricks soon. And I found another Napple seed there. And so those things like alternately dispense hearts and painful flames, and so if you can get them when they're in the heart part of the cycle, that's lovely because there aren't that many opportunities to recharge your health in this game. Like you don't even get it back at the end of a level. And so that was a safety save. Saving before bosses for marathon safety is super important because a totally weird thing about bosses in this game is that if you die to them, there is just no continue option. You have to reload your save. If you die in a level, you can continue. But like, yeah, it's super rude. Anyway, here is an angry rabbit. And Porch is like, oh, it's a bunny rabbit. I want to touch it. And Serenap's like, do not touch the rabbit. The rabbit wants to fight. And apparently this is the thing that lurks in the Dawnless Forest. Not really sure what the horns are, except maybe metaphorically ears.
I mean, I've seen worse translations in my day. Maybe the horns are under the hat.
There we go. So now we've beat up the rabbit that's been causing Alice nightmares, and we get a little exposition about that. We get a kind of convoluted explanation here in the narration. I'm gonna take a drink of water. What has two ears and lurks in the Dawnless Forest? And again, this is like the only part of this game that's actually based on Alice in Wonderland, and the rest just is different stuff. But anyway, so the idea here is that as we solve problems for people in Nappletown, like the people who have like, you know, weird problems affecting their lives are people who ended up with one of Alice's one of Porch's petals, and so Porch is getting one of her petals back right now, and the overall goal is to get all 6 petals. Alright, so we say goodbye to young Alice, and now that we've got a petal, we go home, and it's time to go to sleep. Every time we get a petal, we get a little Paffet version of it. Again, Paffets are the little cute things that can follow you around. So that'll just hang out in the basement forever because those are used for just opening up bonus levels, and bonus levels have a bunch of coins, and once again, coins are useless. Good night, world. Alright. And now we get up in the morning, do some stretches, be very cute. Say hello to Stray Nap.
Nice train up.
And we got 4 Napple seeds, and so we plant them in the planter there and get an extra heart of health. And now we gotta talk to a rocking chair. So yeah, even the furniture are these living Paffets that can talk, and they talk in emoji, and there's a thing where Porch and Strain Up are trying to figure out what they're saying. But we just have to talk to that chair every once in a while. Okay, I'm gonna safety save again, because this is another thing that can I can mess up and ruin the run. I would not save at this point when speedrunning, of course, but we've got to actually craft the Paffets now, and if I get one of the recipes wrong, then I'm just going to lose my ingredients and be unable to continue without going back into a level. And that would be terrible. So now I got to take apart these objects. And so here's the whole ingredients thing. I got to find the 3 spots on the object that have these emoji on them. There's one on the side of the shooting star. Just got to kind of pan around. Wow, I'm not finding it. There it was. Okay. And then switch to purple for the last one. Yep, there it is. And let's take apart a sundial. And so, like, some of these ingredients make sense. Like, a sundial is made of light and transformation and time. Take apart a tornado, just carrying around a tornado with us. Tornado is made of clouds and... Hello.
I love this mechanic so much.
There it is. And strength, and going fast, and going spinny. Okay, take apart an offering plate, which for some reason is made of snowflakes and wheat and a pillar. And take apart a necklace. This is the easiest one, you just go to the 3 obvious things on it. And then I can select all and auto-decode, which just makes decodes the duplicates of things that I've already decoded. And that should be the items I need. And now I put them together into new friends. We're gonna make this out of rest and vitality, variation, and purity. And that makes Healy Hoo, which is going to heal us. Now,
So cute.
and now I lie about which Paffet I'm going to make because I can just put in the recipe anyway, and it's faster. So atmosphere, momentum, variation, and a sphere. Orb.
Orb.
And this is going to make the absolute most important Paffet for speedrunning, Fluffy. Fluffy lets us hover over things. And one more. I make it out of atmosphere, variation, swiftness, and Foundation. No. Yes. Gotta double check that. And this is Bumpert. It turns into a trampoline, and Bumpert is absolutely adorable. And those are the 3 paffets that we're ever going to use. Okay. And now we go collect those paffets, which are hanging out once again down here in the paffet rooms. Get Bumpert. Is the stream still okay?
Yeah,
okay.
looks like it to me.
All right, yep. All right, and so from here on, every time we get up in the morning, we have to go to the City Hall meeting, where we get introduced to various characters and what's going on in Nappletown. So here is Mayor Frogcar, of course, leading the meeting. Here is Gomez, just kind of like storming through the meeting and being a jerk.
You know, with Mayor Frogcar, I have to wonder if this could exist in the same universe as Mother 3.
Yeah, I like that. And here's Alice. She's still sleepy. She managed to get to sleep now, but it turns out that just getting one good night of sleep is not sufficient to stop being sleepy. Okay, so we come out here and gotta go across the street to the mystery gift shop. Despite it being called this, you never actually like buy items in the shop. You just talk to Melee, and every once in a while he gives you a thing you need. And a little more conversation about the broken pianola, and Porch wondering why she has to fix it, and Straniska's he's saying well, because if you don't fix things for people, you won't get your pedals back. So that's the deal. Yep. So we get to go into a second level now. Going into the level called The Wild Wind, and this level has some of my favorite music in existence. Yoko Kanno takes influence from a lot of different genres of music, and this one has a very Aaron Copland vibe to it, and it's awesome. Alright, we'll come back to this house in a moment. So, main thing going on in this level is it's windy. As we cross the bridge, sometimes there's going to be wind blowing us in one direction or the other. Okay, so there's the spring version of the school, and we need to get there. And straight up tells us about there are these teleporter gates that can get you to places in the distance. We get introduced to precocious young Rose, and she introduces us to Geiger, the instrument maker, and we're like, hey Geiger, your pianola is busted. And Geiger's like, what? I haven't made a pianola yet. How do you expect me to fix something I haven't made yet? And he's also just being a little snooty about this. And then this kid named Cole charges in and is like, hey, Geiger's not going to fix it because he actually sucks at making instruments. Nobody's ever seen him fix anything. And apparently being taunted by a small child is enough to spur Geiger into action. Except he needs some tools. So we have a little more of a conversation and find out that we need to go get a toolkit from his friend Ms. Winky. If anybody can find a way to counteract this wind when you come in this direction, that would be amazing. So yeah, like talking about this from a speedrunning perspective for a moment, I mentioned that there's one thing that feels like a sequence break, and we've already done it. I really know of no glitches that help the run, and there's got to be some. Like, for one thing, when you land on the edge of a platform, sometimes you kind of get stuck there and hover for a moment, and it's mostly just frustrating, but it indicates that like something is going on with like the 3D physics and the edges of things, and like that's the kind of thing that like if you can control it, maybe you come up with a zip or something, and I don't know. So we bring the tools back to Geiger. And he promises that he will try to fix the pianola that he hasn't even built yet. And that's going to be all that we see of that level for now, but we'll be back. Notice that the bratty young kid from the level and the headmaster are both named Cole. So they're probably the same person in extremely different ages. Anyway, the music is no longer hacked up. And so school can actually begin. And so now we're supposed to relay a message from the children to Geiger saying that he is the world's bestest piano crafty man. And so we're going back into Wildwind to bring that message. Also, if there are people out there who like this music and like to play Link to the Past Randomizer, I've made an MSU1 pack for Link to the Past that replaces the music in the game with Napple music, and so I think you might enjoy that. The Randomizer Discord has information about how to get MSU1 packs, and it's on the list. I use it a lot. How are you doing, Zoe? Do you have, like, things you need to say?
I just love this music. I think I'm jamming out of the music about as much as chat is.
Extremely valid. So we're here and we're like, hey, where's Mr. Geiger? And young Rose is like, Mr. Geiger is gone. He floated away like a music note on the wind. And it turns out that like the unfinished business that was keeping him here in cute purgatory was that he needed to fix his instrument or something. And now that he's done, he can like properly go on to the afterlife. And so he has floated away and left behind just a bunch of giant music notes. And we'll be seeing some of those, and the idea now as you play this game casually is that you're supposed to hit the music notes with your wand, and that sends them to the end of the level where they become platforms. And I thought that you had to hit a certain minimum number of them, but Random Salience found out that the end platforming section is actually extremely doable with hitting none of the music notes, so I guess we just don't hit them anymore. We spiral up this mountain, and we're about to use Fluffly for the first time. Fluffly is super fun.
Something Spiral Mountain Banjo-Kazooie.
I've never actually played Banjo-Kazooie, so I'm like missing references here, but... What?
Okay, I'll play Nappletail if you'll play Banjo-Kazooie.
Okay, that sounds like a deal. All right, so now it is time to go into the third dimension and skip over part of the level. So this is what Fluffly lets us do. It lets us just hover reasonably quickly over a fairly long distance, and if we land close enough to the doorway, then we get to skip a cutscene, and that is amazing. And so yeah, that is one of the speed strats that the other runner, Random Salience, found when she was trying out the run. And I'm sure we'd find a lot more things if there were more people running. Oh, heck. I thought I was going to get on the platform there. So there's like two routes through these three windmills. There's the top route, which has more stuff on it and fewer things that hurt you, but of course it takes time to go up, so we stay on the bottom route. So more giant music notes. There's a thing that I found. Oh, it's oh, Betrayed by the Wind. I thought it was going to pick me up. This is a global cycle that I don't know what to do about at all. There we go. That went fine. And here at the end of the level, the one thing we have left to do is to hail a taxi. And when I say hail, I mean ring these three giant bells. And by taxi, I mean this giant fish dragon thing that's been flying around in the background. And hey, I'm really glad to see people here like Kylaria and Derby and everyone. Thank you. So yeah, the music notes. When you hit them, they play like they play one or two notes, and I found only by poking around the sound files on the game disc that all of them in order like make that theme that the piano was playing, which is super cool and completely not noticeable as you play the game. And especially not noticeable in the speed run where you hit none of them. Anyway, now we just gotta jump on the blue ones, which we get for free. The platforms are bigger than they look. And that brings us to Caterpillager, Destroyer of Spring. And the trick for Caterpillager is we stand right next to its face, and it's sending these shockwaves at us, but we're too close for it to hurt us. That's awesome, Derby. We can't damage it when it's doing this. And there we go. Oh. And we get a cool little cutscene whenever we pick up a pedal, which, unfortunately, the optimal thing to do is to skip.
とても不思議な経緯だったけど、私は春のペタルを取り戻すことができたんだ。そして春が帰ったナップルタウンチェリーフロントストリート。私と新米玉ガイドの SN は
The bosses seem to be RNG. And Portia's like, oh, so this is a pedal, even though it's the second one that she's gotten, because, once again, the game didn't expect us to do the early levels in that order. And now that we've got a pedal, it is time to go to sleep again. Good night, world. So we once again have the morning routine.
I'm only saying this because I know Railkin can hear me. I will also do a similar game trade with you if you play banjo, then I will play something else.
All right, and so we enter the city hall meeting and almost get doored by a very excitable cow. The cow is the bartender of the milk bar, the cattle bar. We'll be seeing the cow again in just a moment. Say hi to the children. And the children are so happy for school to be back that they're skipping it to go to the city hall meeting. Here's the headmaster here to be disappointed at them. Okay, so now we get to go down a new street of Nappletown into the summer levels. Oh, wait, let's talk to the cow. It's important to talk to all the characters that you need to interact with in the levels, and you talk to them outside of the levels first so that you can meet them inside the levels. So this is Jackson, the bartender, and Portia's like, huh, a talking cow, that's kind of weird. And that's pretty much all we say so far. And now we go into Hydrangea, the level where it is very rainy. And this is a level that's got some tricky skips that I don't, not all that tricky, but it's got some skips that I don't always get. So I'll try to focus on gameplay for just a bit.
よし。
Get on this very speedy snail boat. And now try to jump directly onto the hook. Yes! Okay. If you land on the ground there, there's a cutscene. And I didn't know you could skip the cutscene until I was doing this in a marathon. And I got that for the first time. It's really not hard, you just have to know you can do it. Okay, I'm gonna go down here. There's the option of whether you hover over this whole part with Fluffly or don't, and this is the kind of safer way. Like, the choice of when to use Fluffly, I think it's a little better to hover there, but it's based on global cycles, so it really depends on everything that happens in the level. So the reason that I have to conserve when to hover is notice that 4 next to Fluffy in the bottom left corner. She's only got 4 uses before she disappears. And so we have to manage those. And also we only ever want to use 3 of them because if we use up Fluffy, then she's going to go back to the Pappet room in the basement and we'd have to go get her again and that would be bad and take time. Yes! I got the hook! I got the hook. And once again, I get to hover. And land on this. And get to hover this part once more so that we just don't have to wait for lily pad cycles. Make sure to dodge the fish. And, alright, maybe I am being unreasonably, feeling unreasonably good about this boss. I didn't safety save. I'm not going to do it before every boss. But here's Teru Teru. Just a teleporting Sherlock Holmes with an umbrella. Alright. The real boss here is the camera. And very relaxing boss music. So 5 hits brings us to the next phase. No, this phase we hit him what? Ooh, oh no. That's probably bad. Oh, I made it, okay. Could have gotten 2 hits in there, but I missed the first time. Whoa, okay. Oh neat, there's a platform back there. Back off, jump, hit him again. I think I just learned there's a platform back there, and that's probably how you're supposed to dodge the bomb things. Okay, anyway. 4 uses of Fluffly until you get to recharge your Pappets, and that happens when you get a pedal, so not very often at all. But there's also these little flower things that some enemies drop that give you back 1 charge on your current Pappet, and so later on it's going to be important to route those in. Anyway, that was Hydrangea, and just go directly on to the next level. Alright, so we're at the beach level, and the first thing that we encounter is right here. And Portia's like, oh, where's the summer version of me? And Serenap's like, it's complicated. And Portia's like, can I see my room? And Serenap's like, sure. And Portia's like, oh, it's not very exciting. And that's all that happens here. Porch is definitely some sort of magical girl. I used to declare her to be uncosplayable because of the structural improbability of her outfit, and then somebody showed me a picture of Porch cosplay, and it's awesome. So many things are possible in this life. Alright, so now we've reached the ocean, and Stray Nap is just gonna part the ocean for us, And this is the first time that Porch is actually impressed with what Strain Up can do. And we just jump in. These switches are improbably hard to hit. Oh no, I got knocked off by the water. Normally the timing works out better than that. Oh, heck. Okay, we're fine. And so there was a flower, and now I've got another use on Fluffly, and that's going to be extremely important in a few seconds. Because I can stand on top of this chest, and this is a great launching point for hovering over more of the level. Yeah, it's a sort of crown backpack thing. Who knows? Also, like, what is her wand? The game calls it a racket.
I think both of these questions can be answered with the letters JRPG.
Uh-huh. Let's grab another flower there. This is a place where it would be bad if we fell, because the bottom section of this level is a lot slower and pretty much requires backtracking, and I do not want to backtrack, but we don't have to backtrack. Okay, this is not a difficult boss, but I haven't saved in a while, so I'll be reasonable and safety save.
覚えとくね。
Oh, I just skipped one of the amazing lines. I'm gonna slow down on the dialogue. Porch just straight up arrived in this place, and Porch is like, wow, it smells like actual butt. Then the boss is a little peeved at our description and whacks us into the boss arena. And so we get to meet Napple Squid, who's gonna talk entirely in puns. Let's get crackin'! The season of summer! It sure is hot, ain't it? Okay, so this has a mechanism where you can reflect the missiles back at it if you hit them at the correct angle. I got 3 missile hits in there. Just hanging out in the boss's hitbox so I can keep doing damage. Hey, great question, RG. Cecile's Garden is actually one of the last levels that I play, and yeah, it has absolutely fantastic music. Like so many things in this game do. All right, that is the Napple Squid. And we just have another brief pun battle, and the boss slinks away. Alright, but summer is not back yet. We've got one more level to play. Which is Festival Night. And so Puro the Clown is here, and he's like, hey, let me show you around the festival. And by show you around, I mean make you play a bunch of mini-games. And in these mini games, sometimes we're going to be able to use the pathits to help us through them. So if I switch over to Bumper at the trampoline here, I can do this game a lot faster and not have to drag too many blocks around. But I do want to push this block. And then I can just clear that gap, and that's the first mini game. This is a whack-a-mole game. Oh, just hit the switch. And once again, we encounter the version of a place that we found in Napple Town inside a level. So this is the summer version of the cattle bar, and it's very similar to the cattle bar outside, except that the cow now moves in French.
Jackson is simultaneously my favorite and least favorite character.
Jackson's pretty great.
I love good cow representation, but I hate his character.
All right, that pattern worked out super great. Got another block pulling puzzle, and we're going to get through this with the trampoline again. But this one's fast enough to just pull the first one, and then we trampoline. Come back. All right. This is the bad mini game. It's the shooting gallery. You just kind of hang out while this thing shoots out giant corks, and you have to make it knock off all of the objects. And it just shoots at whatever column we're hanging out in. So, kind of a lot of waiting around, but there is a thing you can do where you stand on top of the object until it falls off, and then we don't even have to worry about dodging. Hey!
Nicely done.
Oh. See if I can do the landing on top of the bowling pin thing again.
This feels like the Napple tail equivalent of an auto scroller.
Uh-huh. Hey!
Woo. Love how this is intended because there's a red coin up here.
Yep. Oh,
Oop.
it's fine. Yeah, just taking damage. It's fine. And Hero's like, hey, Porch, why do you look so exhausted? Are you not having a good time at the festival? And Porch is like, hey, you're making me play these games that hurt. Like, why are you doing that? I'm gonna wait around for a life for just a moment. There we go. For a health point, I mean. Yeah. Save. Alright, and now we have to fight the last boss that's afflicting the summer. It is the exploding phoenix flower. This plant has issues. And it's gonna kind of hover around being annoying, and we have to double jump most of the time to hit it. And the problem with double jumping is that Porch does that, like, catching her balance thing when she lands, and that takes time. But if you don't double jump, you don't hit it very consistently. But that was the boss.
Can't believe you just beat Flowey in under.
And Porch was expecting to get photobombed by Straynap like she does at the end of most levels, but Straynap's over there sulking about something.
消し祭の牛バーは再び大にぎわい。ジャクソンさんは私と SN にすごく感謝してくれて。
So I guess once again I can say a couple things about this run. We try to make the run very, like, accessible. It does not require having a working Dreamcast. You can emulate it. I am emulating it. Emulating is, like, the effective way to get the fan translation, which is definitely allowed in the speedrun.
私は夏のペダルを取り戻すことができたんだ。そして夏が帰ったナップルタウンオーシャンブルーストリート。私と新米玉ガイドの SN は元気に帰ってきたのでした。
And I have tried playing this on an actual Dreamcast, and it works fine, but, like, hard, you know, I have not figured out how to get the fan translated version onto it. Anyway, we saved Summer. You get another bonus Paffet for it. And once again, it's going to be time to go to sleep. Good night, world. Yeah. So yeah, coming back to your room is the thing that, oh, gotta talk to the rocking chair. Coming back to your room is the thing that restores all of Porch's health and restores all the charge on the Paffets. And so I could do that between levels to get back all of the resources that I'm using up. But for one thing, that takes time. And for another thing, there is a cutscene that happens the first time that you walk in the door of 13 Ice voluntarily. And the best way to make that cutscene not happen is to never walk in the door, only walk out of it. So yeah, the only times we ever go home are after getting a pedal. And just say hi to some more characters. We're being told about a stingy old man named Mr. Little Money, and we've got to go talk to him. Also about a troubled girl named Cecile, and we're going to be meeting her. Just hop the fence.
I want to keep like calling all these small optimizations just random skips, just for fun.
And so you meet Mr. Little Money, and he's like, "What do you want? Shoo, shoo." And once again, all we have to do is meet them, and then we can encounter their actual plot when we find them inside a level.
Do you think he's named Mr. Little Money because he spent all of his money on this mansion?
Could be. He has made some unwise banking choices. We're about to encounter that.
And like, how much did that pipe that looks like a crow cost him?
Uh-huh. And here's Cecile. She is sad. But she's showing us her garden. And some of the planters are overgrown with weeds. And so this is going to be a kind of like the whole Alice subplot. We've got to meet Cecile on the level and find out what problem she's having and help her solve it. But we're not going to finish that for a while. So here's Red and Gold. This level is the entryway to a bunch, to like all of the autumn levels. And we immediately encounter the autumn version of Mr. Little Money's mansion. It's on some prime real estate here. And Porch is like, "Do I really have to talk to him again?" And Strand's like, "Do it for your pedal." And Ellie the maid is like, "Hey, come quick, you have to help. Something is really strange about my boss. He's feeling generous." And he's just like, "Whatever shall I do? I wanted to hold like an autumn festival and give Napple pies to all the needy children, but all my money is at the bottom of a well." And so that is the unwise banking decision that Mr. Little Money has made. And so now we need to descend into the Moaning Well. So this level is partially full of water, and there are two sections where we need to hit 3 switches to drain the water, and it's pretty much just about routing your way between the switches, which without falling down, which I hope I remember how to do. Switch number 2. And switch number 3. No! Oh, okay. This is fine.
Did you just like fall through that platform?
Something like that. But I think I landed where I needed to be anyway. Yeah, it's fine.
Just gonna call that platform skip.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah, that was the speed strat. The gravity assist. And hey, speaking of auto-scrollers, we've got the water slider coming up.
At least this auto-scroller is way cuter than the cork one.
Uh-huh. And very fast, in fact. Alright. And now we encounter the boss, which is Mr. Little Money's banker, who is a dragon, Smok Finansky. and he's very busy and does not want to talk about us making a withdrawal. He is very busy keeping his money organized, especially because all these little snarks keep trying to steal it. And so we have to help defeat these things and stop them from moving too much of the money. So kind of a zone defense thing. And once again, the camera is kind of the enemy here.
Noises these things make. So cute. Also, just a note to our behind the scenes person, something happened on the stream.
Oh. You hear the dragon getting upset, the money's being moved. But it's fine. And because we helped out the dragon, we get to, for some reason, withdraw Mr. Little Money's money for him. And get a lovely little pun there. And now we get to continue playing the level called Red and Gold. Let's... Oh. Wrong path. I want Healy Hoo. Now, because I slowed down there, I bet, yeah, I can't make that global cycle, so I gotta hang on to the zip line, which is not very zippy. So this level is another big spiral, and it really seems like you should be able to skip from one section of the level to another by jumping on our trampoline friend. And I keep trying it, and I keep like being just a tiny bit below where I would need to be to land on the platform above. But it keeps being so close. There's got to be a way. Being a little careful there, because falling down onto a previous part of the level would be bad. And it's okay, because there's this cycle with a mushroom anyway. Okay, thank you to everybody keeping the stream working. Part of the level, the leaves cause a little bit of a problem with visibility, and you gotta know which ways to zig and zag to not fall in a pit. And we have found the autumn version of Cecile's house. And Cecile is kind of backwards from Alice. She is much older inside the level. And we just have to take a look at her magic mirror, and that advances the plot. And now we can go finish the level. And once again, we're actually going to put off solving Cecile's problem for the very end. It turns out to be, I think, a slightly more efficient route. And so this is the thing that's going to get us the autumn petal.
覚えとくね。
The level kind of has many different branches with different endpoints. When we get to this point, we get to the boss of the level, which is this tree. And this tree has issues. The main issue that it has is that its fruits have been replaced by bombs, which is somehow the fault of that mask thing up there. And we need to hit the bombs back at the mask thing, which requires the angles to work out. Which they are at the moment. This is great. This is super great. Because the mask thing teleports around sometimes, like, while I'm trying to hit it. Just hit that one away.
That was super friendly.
That was, like, optimal.
GG.
Makes me wish this was, like, a world record attempt. And, yeah. So, the Napple fruit is going to start, coming back, and Mr. Little Money gets to have his festival.
そんなわけでハロウィンの夜にリトルマネーのじいさんは貧しい子たちへの一大チャリティーを開くことができたんだ。
Why are there needy children in Napple Town?
お化けの仮装をした子供たちに配られたんだよ。もちろん私にもね。リトルマネーのじいさんは私と SN にとっても感謝してくれたよ。もっともっとチャリティーをしたいって欲張ったのは失敗だったけど。
So hooray, Mr. Little Money is being all generous, and soon we get to find out how much to trust philanthropists.
そんなわけで
But
私は
first of all, we get the pedal back.
取り戻すことができたんだ。そして
And the pedals are like kind of both things that are supposedly attached to Porch's outfit, although her character model doesn't actually change, but also these fairy things.
帰ってきたのでした。
And Mr. Little Money's like here, like, just like, ah, what idiot gave away all of my money? And he is back to being extremely stingy and a jerk. And he's back to normal because he doesn't have the pedal anymore, and pedals make people act weird. Good night, world. Okay, so this is going to be, I think, a good time for a break, because you asked for a break time. We're about to start winter
Yes.
and the end game. And so, yeah, if we can pause the timer for a bit.
Yeah, absolutely. For those that maybe don't watch a ton of hotfix or a lot of longer runs on hotfix, we'd like to encourage like wellness breaks. So to get up, stretch your legs, both for the runner and the audience. So
Sounds great.
go refill your water, do what you need to do. We will be taking just a brief break, and we'll be back in 5-ish minutes or so.
Great.
So hang tight, y'all.
Yeah,
Oh.
remind me if I forget to turn my mic back on.
I will ping you incessantly. Don't worry. And we are back. Thanks for bearing with us during that break. Hope everyone got a good chance to stretch their legs, get some water, or anything else you may have needed to do. Before we hop back in the run, I do just want to say that Hotfix is funded in part thanks to your subscriptions. Please consider subscribing to support future broadcasts. And with that, Elia, you back?
I'm back.
Awesome. Yeah, well, it's on you to let us know when to restart this timer, and we can get back to this amazing run.
Great, thank you. All right, so 3, 2, 1, go. So welcome back to Nappletail. We once again have gotten a new pedal, and so we need to go to City Hall and talk to people and like get some plot established or something. Hey, random salients. Alright, so here at the City Hall meeting, and Ellie the maid needs to hide because there is a very imposing woman who is very upset at her for, like, talking to a man who she wanted to talk to. That's Madame Coletta. She is not entirely okay. We will not be hearing from her anymore in the speedrun. Okay. And this is going to bring us to the winter levels. And the first level of winter is called Fjordland. And Fjordland has a lot of, like, interesting challenges to it. And it is the longest level, and unfortunately it's the level with the worst music. I'm very sorry about that. All the more reason to find, you know, fun ways to skip through the level. So the level involves kind of a lot of cycles and a lot of bouncing on balloons. Get out Fluffy again for when we need her. And in here, we're going to meet the winter version of Mayor Frogcar. And Mayor Frogcar's got a problem. He wants to hibernate for the winter. His transmission is freezing up, and he can't hibernate without something called Phantom Stew, which Strain Up knows how to make. And for some reason, it's something that Strain Up makes in his ice cream maker, and we need to get ingredients for it. And so that's kind of going to be the quest of the winter. Hop on the sign so that I can get on this. So this level, there's a lot of different paths through it, kind of vertically, and it feels kind of like Sonic the Hedgehog levels in that you got a lot of choices, but if you're at the bottom of the level, you are not doing well. So we try to stay up high as much as we can. And that's going to involve a lot of floating over things. Get a flower off of this floating whale thing. Get on the balloon, hooray. Make sure to bounce off it at the highest point. So we can get up here and launch on Fluffy again. Hi Garg, bye Garg. So that guy named Garg kind of hangs out in hard to reach places, and if you find him in every place, you get, like, to learn about his subplot. Did I make it? I made it. Hooray. Do have to wait for the stair cycle, but that's okay. This is going pretty well, actually. I haven't fallen down anywhere.
Don't jinx it.
ろしくね。
Get on the Fluffly near the highest point of that swinging platform, and it lets us get right onto the top of a very tricky series of balloon jumps, so we don't have to do it. We're done with fall, it's winter, guys, now. And you just kind of gotta wait for this big Ferris wheel. Yeah, might as well. I don't need Fluffy anymore. I might as well switch I switched to the wrong path. Switch to Healy-Hoo. Also, it doesn't matter. We're at the end of the level. Except now we have to do another kind of auto-scrolly thing, the jet coaster. Yet another minecart-like mechanic.
I'm just thinking, like, Emperor's New Groove, pull the lever porch.
And so the choices here are to duck under things, and sometimes you choose left or right on the track, and you always want to choose left as far as I know.
Left is always right.
Mm-hmm. Failing to duck under some things because you can't choose your path while you're ducking, and getting hit for half a heart is much worse than, you know, is much better than getting on the wrong track.
A part of the track just looks like it's straight out of Sonic Adventure 2.
I think my entire experience with Sonic Adventure 2 is watching Glitch Witch play the randomizer of it, which was quite an experience. That randomizer is wonderfully silly. Whee! Speaking of Sonic, we're going around in loops.
I mean, this is a Sega game, so...
Uh-huh. All right, coming up is the train boss. This is a boss where I very much can die because I don't know a better strat than to, for the first section of it than just get right up in its hitbox and take a lot of damage. And I think I just saved twice. I was confused. Taking a lot of damage and hoping I do more damage to it. So yeah, Hero here just, you know, innocently asked if we'd like to take a ride on the train. And Porch was like, oh yeah, that looks fun. And Hero's like, oh yeah, by the way, the train can't stop and it's dangerous. Have fun. Porch does not quite intend to have fun. Suplex the train boss. Let's try. Okay, so first we gotta fight this stapler thing that's gonna try to Toho us a lot with all these bullets. This is the part where I take too much damage, but we got it. because this part is absolutely fine, and that's the only dangerous part because you get a full heal after every section of the boss. So that part was called Ichi, and this part is called Zwei. And it is a fish in a light bulb for some reason. Yes, I am playing the fan translation, which came out last year. And now we gotta fight this very spooky teddy bear. Just doing normal teddy bear things. Who, of course, is named Toi. And finally, with their powers combined, I'm at the staple gun, I'm at the light bulb fish, I'm at the teddy bear, I'm at the combination staple gun and light bulb fish and teddy bear. And the great part is that the staples go right over our head, so that part is wonderful. And I just try to get as many hits in this phase as I can, but now we gotta dodge the bear. And there we go. And Porch hops off the train just before it runs into the thing and explodes. And Porch is going to very rightly ask what the point of all that was. She is a bit upset at Pierrot for continuing to make her do things like this. And Serenap's going to react like she's upset at him, but you know, he's clearly got other things on his mind, mostly the fact that Porch is going to leave this world sometime. In about an hour, in fact. Okay. So we go right back into the winter, where we go to the Snow Corridor, one of my favorite levels. And good level music is back. Okay, so still good that I switched to Healy-Hoo earlier because it is time to start using Healy-Hoo because I'm going to do all 3 winter levels and take some damage on all of them, and there are basically 2 ways to heal without going home, and one is waiting around at those fountains that sometimes have hearts in them, and the other way is using Healy-Hoo to heal 1 heart at a time. Just gonna dodge all those snowballs that I can because saving health saves time. Yeah, the music in this game is really nice, and like if you heard of this game at all before it was translated, I'm gonna wait for the heart here because I'm on the wrong cycle anyway. Okay, if you snowballed. If you heard of this game at all before it got fan translated, it's probably because you heard of the soundtrack. The soundtrack, once again, is composed by Yoko Kanno with vocals by Maya Sakamoto. They are just kind of the dream team of, like, of early 2000s J-pop. I need that heart. Don't know how to dodge that flame. Okay, take a bit of an intended shortcut. One of the things in one of these crevices has a heart for me. There it is. Trying not to get snowballed. I got snowballed anyway. Hit the switches in that order so that the platform on the right starts moving first. Get a heal for me and a heal for Healy-Hoo. So that Healy-Hoo can heal me again. And hey, there's not even a boss at the end of this level. Sweet. So we are on to the Crystal Palace, a level notable for being very icy and very pointy. And yes, there is some kind of weird ice physics going on. Oh, right, I need to do this and hit that into the switch. We don't even need to pay a visit to the winter version of the mystery gift shop. It is not necessary to advance the plot. So we get a view of the spiraling tower that is going to be most of this level. And the big problem with this is that there are a lot of opportunities to fall down, and then you land on an earlier part of the level, and that is bad. Like here is quite an opportunity to fall down. Gonna wait for that spike ball to descend a little bit. There we go. Got some collapsing platforms here. I'll wait. Ow. I got mimic chested. And there's that thing where you hit the edge of a platform and just kind of get stuck there for a moment, which once again, it feels like It feels like that should lead to like some kind of glitch, like a zip or something, if we could just know what to do with it. Oh, let me through. Gonna be a little bit careful here. Okay. Oh. Now I'll save the game, and we're about to encounter the last boss of the winter. And as Porch sees the boss, this is Porch's skeptical face. Drop your Arboria's if you've got it. Do not be alarmed. Don't worry, I'm not. And so we now need to fight this very small army of ice soldiers. The Ice Corps. Dodge some lasers. Oh. And there we go. Thank you, Random Salients and Kylaria, and hopefully Twitch emotes are not broken for somebody. And hey, here's Melee, the shopkeeper, back. He was stuck being one of the ice soldiers, and he's got the ingredients that we need to make the Phantom Stew for Mayor Frogcar. If you recall that that's what we were trying to do.
氷の兵隊に姿を変えられていたメレさんはまだまだ調子は万全じゃないみたい。いつもと違ってかっこよくないもんね。そうだ、ここはハテナ玩具堂まで送っていってあげた方がいいよね。
Just get a bit of a breather once again, cause actually, right, I'm not gonna finish the season just now. I'm not gonna get a pedal because we're supposed to go home and make the ice cream maker that somehow makes Phantom Stew. But in fact, there's other stuff we would rather be doing. Let's take the fun route back to the autumn. Oh, well, never mind. Hit a wall. This is the way I wanted to be going anyway. That was the way I wanted to go earlier. Anyway, I'm gonna finish up Cecile's subplot now. Before going home. Just need to take a look at her mirror again. And Cecile is just like, I don't need anything. I never did. And just disappears into the mirror. And we really want to help this girl, but she just keeps disappearing into mirrors. Uh-huh. So we return once again to Red and Gold. And we're gonna go down a slightly different branch of it.
よし。
once again, when it comes to like speed strats, this is a level where it feels like there should be skips where we just go like vertically through the level, but so far they just keep not quite working. Like we just end up not, getting slightly too little height. Like the level's a big spiral, and it feels like it should be possible to climb up on something and then trampoline from one section of the level to the next. I need to get some charge back on Fluffly if I can. Grab a heart while we can. There's the Fluffly charge. Oh, we've just missed the mushroom. So, stop again at old Cecile's house and take a look at this mirror. Oh hey, it's another Cecile going to disappear into another mirror. But this time, we get to follow her into the mirror. So this is Cecile's secret garden. And I think someone earlier was asking about this level, because this is another level with great music. There are a lot of those. And so I think I timed it out, and going clockwise through this level is faster than going counterclockwise. But there are these 4 little segments that we need to do. And here's one of them, which involves supposedly getting on 4 of these zip lines. And again, the zip lines are not very zippy. And so I don't want to do that, so I'm just going to hover over all of it with Fluffly. Oh, what? Oh, that's the worst thing. That's okay, I'm gonna do it again. I have an extra use of Fluffly, it's fine. I'm disappointed, but it's fine. Okay, let's make sure to cut a corner and stay on the inside. I just didn't know that could happen. Uh-huh. Random salience, how could your skip betray me like this? The switch, hit the right button, hit the left. Oh, did that work? No, that certainly didn't. I think we are off cycle here. That's bad. I think I did the first part too quickly. Okay. And that... Uh-huh. Okay, but This explodey frog serves two purposes. It gets rid of those blocks and gives me a flower, so everything's fine. I got the charge I needed on Fluffly again. Oh. That's the block I meant to knock out. Oh. Now I'm gonna do the optimized strat here. I think it's faster to only hit 2 switches and just be a little more careful in jumping than to hit 3 switches. Alright, and this is another place where you want to use Fluffly, because there's like another timing puzzle that we're supposed to solve by like exploding all those platforms and then rushing back up here, but don't have to when you've got a balloon friend. And these zip lines too. Let's just skip 2 of them. Ran into the pillar there. Get on, thank you. And so, since we completed those 4 little challenges, that opens up the gate by where we came in. That's bad. I might need a trampoline. Thank you, Bumper. I'm so glad that it turns out to be time effective to create Bumpert, both because Bumpert is absolutely heckin' adorable, but also because it's good for backup strats. And we need to hit this explodey frog. It's really the only way through this platform. Oh. Hit these in the right pattern. What? What? Why? Okay, I'll remember to hold directly right as I hit those. I didn't think the angle could change, but now I know. And I do not need to save because this isn't really a boss, it's a conversation. We get to talk to old Cecile, who's gonna like talk at us like she's 200 years old, and we talk about her life for a while, and she is just like overwhelmed by nostalgia, and we need to convince her to live in the moment. Because apparently she used to live this really opulent life, and now she's just like a girl in Napple town, aging backwards or something. But we're just gonna say, hey, Cecile, hi, I'm your friend. This is fine. Like, your life is nice here. And so you get 2 choices in each stage of the conversation. And if you make the right choice, like the nicer thing to say, then you go on to the next part of the conversation. And if you say the wrong thing, then Cecile drops you on spikes, because she's nice like that. So charming. This track of music is called Folly Fall. And for some inscrutable reason, it doesn't appear on the official Napple soundtrack. It's amazing. And the vocals on this one are not by Maya Sakamoto. They are by Gabriella Robin. And if you're a Yoko Kanno fan, you know that that basically means Yoko Kanno herself. Just some wonderful Yoko Kanno nonsense lyrics. And there we go, we have completed the conversation boss. So we got one more petal. This one has bat wings. Yeah, this game is Napple Tale, Arcia in Daydream, and it is a sort of platforming RPG that only came out in Japan for the Dreamcast, but it's got a fan translation as of last year, and it's got amazing art design by a team of all women, and it's got an amazing soundtrack by Yoko Kanno. All right, Porch and Serena are going to argue a bit about the nature of time, and Porch gets back another petal friend, and it's time to go to sleep again. Good night, world. All right, so there's just one more thing to do. We were supposed to bring Mayor Frogcar some phantom stew so that he can hibernate. And we have not forgotten to do this, it's just now is the time to make the stew. So we go back to the crafting room. And Stranap's going to take control here. Because this is a plot essential item, there can be no risk of messing it up. So that's the ice cream maker, which again, for some reason, we are going to make stew in. Talk to Strain Up. And we have one more City Hall meeting. This version of Mayor Frogcar is doing fine, of course. And Cecile is feeling better, and she's going to get her life turned around and go to school with the much shorter children, because she's aging backwards again or something. And there we go. Yeah, so we go back into the winter. I'm really glad there's an audience for this game too. So the good news is we only have to play a tiny bit of Fjordland again. Yeah, like you tell everybody this game has amazing music and then Fjordland just comes and betrays you. Mm-hmm. Did I make it to the third balloon? No, I did not make it to the third balloon. It's possible. I thought I'd give it a try. Okay. And, yep, so this is Winter Frog Car, and he's very desperate for Phantom Stew, and now we can provide it.
フロッカーじいさんは SN のお願いにすぐに応じてくれたっていうより、幻のシチューアイスが早く欲しくて我慢できなかっただけかもしれないけど。こうして私は冬のペタルを取り戻すことができたんだ。
So we get the winter pedal back, and all of the seasons are saved.
冬が帰ったナップルタウンシルバーラインストリート。私とまだまだ新米玉ガイドの SN は元気に帰ってきたのでした。
Anyway, time to make some stew that looks like ice cream in the ice cream maker that makes stew. And Mayor Frog Car is happy again. And Porch is like, hey, that looked amazing, I want some. And Stranap's like, oh, I got rid of the rest of it, it wasn't good enough. And Porch is like, you dingus. And we're gonna spend a lot of the rest of the run saying you dingus to Strainap because, like, we start having these dialogue options where we can be friendly towards Strainap, but being friendly requires menuing and that takes time. And so we're just gonna keep being, like, vaguely mean to Strainap because it saves the frames. And, hey, they were talking about the fact that Porch has all of her pedals back. And so she's free to leave Nappletown, right? Mm-hmm. And yeah, this game is certainly obscure, and I would be very excited to see... Oh, no, I'm ready. Speaking of menuing. I'd be very excited to see more people run it. Oh, we can't leave yet. Mayor Frog Car has to throw a party for Porch for the fact that she did the absolute minimum to help the people of Nappletown.
フロッカーじいさんの提案で私のお別れパーティーを開いてくれました。ナップルタウンのみんなが別れを惜しんで挨拶に来てくれて、もっともリトルマネーのじいさんは時間と金が無駄だと言って来やしなかったけど代わりにエリーさんが来てくれたから、その方が何十倍もいい。みんなとってもいい人たちだな。
Just gonna let Maya Sakamoto talk for this part.
そして最後に記念撮影、ピエロ君が撮りました。
Oh, the evil clown is taking the photo. What could possibly go wrong?
ついに礼拝堂でゲートが開かれ、ポーチ・アリシアはもう新米卒業玉ガイドの SN を伴ってついに私自身の世界へと帰る道に着いたのです。
Alright, so we're entering one of the endgame stages, which is called Mirror Illusion. And this is supposedly the bridge that Porch came into Nappletown on, except it's all pretty now. Also, there's a lot of tricky platforming to do. Oh no. Yep. It looked like I could make it. wait a bit here before the collapsing platform. There we go. Oh, oh no, I didn't wait for long enough. And now I'm back here. The tricky part on a lot of these platforms is that there's an enemy hanging out right at the edge of the platform who wants to knock you backwards onto things. Really grab that heart. At least that part of the cycle worked out very well. Okay, I'll make it, yes. All right, and we get to the halfway point of Mirror Illusion. Have a bit of a conversation and then just get smacked around by a clown who is very rude. And continue being mean to Stray Nap. And Piro continues being very mean to us and vowing to teach us a lesson. And then just hovers straight up into the sky. And Serena was like, hey, wait, something's wrong. All of your petals are gone. The character model didn't change, but you've definitely lost all your petals. And yeah, so now the clown has stolen all of Porch's petals, and that's extremely bad. And we see the photo of Nappletown where everybody has been turned into a clown. Except Porch. That's another thing that's bad. Yes, being mean to Stray Nap does in fact save time. And so Porch is here to confront Piro about being a jerk, but this isn't Piro. This is someone else in Nappletown turned into a clone of Piro. So, welcome to the Clownpocalypse. Everybody is Piro. And so we have to find out how to undo this. And the first place we're going to look for how to undo it is inside the circus, of course. Where we go to Piro's private room, which we wouldn't have been able to get into before. It looks a lot like Porch's room. But we find Piro's diary, where he starts ranting about his maniacal plan to save the universe by turning everybody into himself. So, that's interesting, Space Funk. I did not know that. I'm using an Xbox controller, and now I'm really interested to try out the D-pad. Thank you for mentioning that. Seems awkward, but that's really interesting for the horizontal sections, if holding right on the controller makes you go faster. And so apparently the second part of Puro's maniacal plan is in Porch's room, just because he's that maniacal. Just going no, 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 no in a diary. But that provides a hint about how we're going to turn everybody back, and we need to go make a thing called a dream camera. Okay, I'm gonna save. And this is a reasonable amount of safety, but not the safest of safety saves. Right, this way. So the next step is we go into Alice's house, where we can use her blanket to have a dream. And so the idea here is that Porch has a dream about town being back to normal, and Serena takes a picture of it, and we put it back into the machine that makes pictures real. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I definitely don't have to go at walking speed with this controller, but weird emulator issues are definitely a thing you can encounter. I've been using RetroArch Flycast, and that's been working pretty well. Alright, so now town is back, and we've just gotta kind of confront Piro about what he did. And so Piro is here, just having a normal one, just standing in the middle of a crumbling sand model of Napple Town and brooding. And he's like, I'm doing this all for everyone's good. I need to be complete. All the petals need to be mine. And he keeps calling Porch Illusia instead of Porch Arisia, or however you pronounce her last name. And also, we have to fight his henchmen now. This boss fight can go wrong. I want them to stay clumped together like this so I can hit both of them for as long as I can. But now that they're separated, I'm gonna stick to the walking one, who is less predictable. There we go. That was Gomez. Now I can beat up Garg. There we go. That went fine. Ah. And Piro is just going to dab on out of here for now, and Porch gets her petals back. Oh, it is such a relief that I got through that boss fight, because if I lose that boss fight, I have to reload from before the dream camera thing, and that just loses a bunch of time. But the patterns were pretty nice to me. It's a very chaotic fight, though. Anyway, here's Gomez getting up. He is very concerned about his friend Garg. But Garg is fine, and now they're just gonna go get drunk at the bar. The sand bar. And the great thing about that fight going well is I've got plenty of health to go back into Mirror Illusion with. So talk to the druid again. Yes, I'm ready. There is a lot that I'm curious about when it comes to movement in this game. Like, is there some jumping pattern that makes movement faster in some situations, for example? I know that you go faster if you can avoid double jumping, but the more you double jump, the more you make it onto the correct platform, so double jumping is pretty good, actually. Stuck on the edge. Okay, it is not taking the platform away from us this time. Just kind of explode those dudes. Okay. Nope. Stay on there, thank you. Yeah, this game is super fun. Whoa, I don't want to land on the platform. Good, okay. Falling down is fine, unless you land on a previous part of the level, in which case it's absolutely not fine. I'm gonna take this moment to select Fluffy. We might need help from her again. So we're back at this part of Mirror Illusion, and this time we get to go onward, and Portia's like, yay, I get to go home, stew, my delicious stew! And Strainup's just kind of back there face-palming because Porch doesn't understand the full implications of her leaving, and now they're having a conversation where Strainup's like, you have to promise not to forget about Napple Town, right? And Portia's like, how could I forget? You know, how could I forget such a lovable dingus like you? And so this is the last stage, also called Mirror Illusion. And the game just kind of gets, it feels a little bit easier, you know, through this stage. And we just get some very lovely music for it. Yeah, the top-down view is great, and was super important for those things where I needed to, like, grab onto a hook in midair. Right, this is the place where we use Fluffy. I'm gonna switch to Healy Hoo so I get a chance to heal. And one more save, because we're about to encounter the final boss.
覚えとくね。
So Piro's here is ranting about how he is the only complete being and he needs to become a god and everybody else is inferior, and Strain Up's like, no you, and Porch says something inspiring and now they need to fight. And so Strain Up's saying, you can stop Napple World from disappearing. All you have to do is like keep a piece of it in your heart and remember it, blah blah blah. But for now, we gotta fight this clown. And the hard part here is keeping track of which one is Piro and which one is Porch when the camera jumps. There we go, that was phase 1. Phase 2 is the hellish phase. But we get a full heal. And I learned... I learned from random salience that you can just get right up in the boss's face, even when it's hanging out off to the side and supposedly not in a place you can hit it. If you just double jump and spin enough, you can hit it. I hate these crabs, I hate these crabs. I'm not going to try to attack while there are these crabs. They stun lock me a lot. Okay. What? Tiny what? Maybe, I don't know. I have no idea what they are. They're creepy, and they stun lock me. Just be where I can attack you. There we go. Okay. Yeah, that went fine, especially because he did the ice attack a lot, and when he does the ice attack, it is completely safe to just be in his face. And then this phase is kind of like the Photoshop Flowey phase because everything is happening at once, but it's dropping tons of health, so everything is actually okay. And that was that. That's time. And so if I don't need to like hurry and finish the stream, then we can wait around through the whole conversation that happens at the end, and we at least get to see one of the songs, the ending song, which is called Green Wings, and it's a very good song. So do we have time? Yeah, this would be a great time for that chat because there is, like, I don't need to hit the controls anymore, and they just have a bunch of dramatic confrontation. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Fjordland went really well.
Hi, Chad hasn't been able to hear all the really, really terrible jokes I've been making. I don't know how that happened. My apologies.
Oh no, well I'm glad you're back. I've been talking to you this whole time.
Yeah, that's probably been very confusing. Anyway, as I was saying, if this were a single segment run, this is 15 seconds off world record.
That's amazing. And things went pretty well in this run. Fjordland went well. I never fell down to the bottom section. That exploding tree fight went amazing. But yeah, so how to get into running this game? I've got a Napple Discord, which contains I've pinned some links to like resources about speedrunning the game, so I could drop a link there if I'm allowed to drop a link.
Not quite a new PB because Elliot does have the world record, but yeah, if you're interested in running this, I highly suggest joining the Napple Discord. You may want to send me the link, otherwise it's gonna get eaten by the bot.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good. Yeah.
But yeah, it's a super cute and cozy run. You talked about at the very beginning that there's a bunch of cutscenes with songs. You do run another category of this called All Songs, which is just, I love it so much.
Yeah, and so far the only difference in All Songs is that you wait through the song cutscenes. If anybody ever discovers a major skip in this game, then any percent in All Songs could become very different.
But yeah, do you have any other tips for people that were interested in this run? Maybe want to pick it up? I saw a lot of people in chat that had never seen this before and are interested in at least playing it. So if they want to speedrun it, what do you suggest?
Yeah, so once again, I find it, it's we try to make it very accessible to get started. So, running on emulator is perfectly allowed, and that lets you play the fan translation. You can get that from my site that I'm pretty sure I've linked that from the Discord, but you can also get that from Kargodin's site. Kargodin is the translator. They did an amazing job. I recommend using RetroArch, using the Flycast core to emulate it. Thank you for having me on here. Thank you to Random Salience, again, for finding some of the skips in this run. She is the other runner of this game. And I hope there can be more.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it too. This is a game, when I first saw you run it, that I've been wanting to pick up. I just haven't had time this year. But sometime soon, I'll be picking this up.
That's awesome. Yeah, so we'll just get a little more denouement here, where Porch has temporarily become the god Illusia, but she needs to cast that aside and leave Napple World and go back to the real world and stuff. And yeah, I love this game because it's beautiful, it's got amazing music that I never get tired of, and it is just a pretty comfy run. Like, when you're going for a record, there are definitely things that can ruin it, like Fjordland, but there aren't too many major setbacks that you're that likely to encounter unless you don't safety save. Then there can be very major setbacks. And here we get...
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, and here we get the final song, and we get a translation of the lyrics by Kargodin provided. And we get to see Porch returning to the summer festival in the real world. So maybe she's just been tripping out at this festival the entire time. It's unclear if Nappletown is just entirely a dream or whether it's real in some sense or both. Because of the fact that we were consistently mean to Stray Nap, if we were to wait through the credits, which I don't think we're going to do, but if we were to wait through the credits, we could get the epilogue, and there are a few possible epilogues, and we get the Frenemies epilogue, where Stray Nap comes back out of pure spite, vowing to get revenge on Porch and make her go on more adventures, thus promising a Napple Tale 2, which does not materialize, sadly.
It does not material. Yeah. You know what? This game also presented another good opportunity for a spin-off game because we never got to find out what happened to Porsche the cat.
Right.
Like, I want the adventures of Porsche, like being able to live presumably her life, having not gotten taken by the Grim Reaper.
Uh-huh. That is a really amazing point. Yeah.
That was a plot thread that was just dropped.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I know I personally am running up against some scheduling conflicts, so probably won't be able to wait out for the epilogue.
Yeah, and that's
but thank you so much
fine.
for showing this off.
And thank you for having me on here, and thank you for all the encouragement in chat. This has been a lot of fun.
Before we do go, we are going to be going on a raid as we typically do here, but I do want to reiterate a few of the things I said earlier in the stream. Firstly, that Hotfix is funded in part thanks to your subscriptions. Please consider subscribing to support future broadcasts. And announcements from earlier, our all-women speedrunning event, Frame Fatales, returns with another event tomorrow, Fleet Fatales. It'll be starting the 15th through the 21st. You can go to gamesdonequick.com/framefatales for more info. West Coast weekend is December 4th to December 6th. The schedule for that will be released on November 20th. AGDQ 2021 online is January 3rd to January 10th of next year. Prize submissions are open, so if you're preparing any prizes for AGDQ 2021, submissions will be open until December 26th. And finally, you can learn about all of our shows at gamesdonequick.com/hotfix. And if you missed any shows or want to revisit past events, go to youtube.com/gamesdonequick to check out our VODs. Thank you again to Arborelia. Thank you behind the scenes to Railkun. And thank you for everyone that showed up to watch this, and especially those that were patient through the technical difficulties at the beginning of this run. I personally incredibly appreciate it. I can talk.
Hey, so yeah, these are the credits. I think we can cut now. And once again, thank you for having me.
Yeah. Everyone have a wonderful rest of your day. I've been ZoeVermilion, and
I'm Arborelia. Thank you.
Have a great time, and see you on the other side of the raid. Bye.
Bye.